we're gonna hit the road again and check out the difference in lag between the two cameras. Hey guys, we recently got a cargo trailer to haul behind our truck camping rig, and I've been making videos about the towing setup, the hitch setup, but one of the things I've been really wanting on the trailer is of course a backup camera. It makes life much easier when you're trying to back up in a tight spot. So I contacted Haloview to see if they had any good options for a 40 to 45 foot rig like ours that would support a 2-camera system. Ideally, I'd like to have one camera on the back of the truck camper and one camera on the back of the trailer. They got back to me and offered to send me their BT7 wireless vision system. Now the BT7 camera system is similar to the MC7109 camera system that I already have on the truck. I did a review on that 1 to 2 years ago. I'll leave a link to it up here. It's been working very well and I use it all the time. The only issue that I've encountered with that camera system is that sometimes there's a delay or some lag with the video. We'll be driving along the highway or we'll be in a congested area. I think a lot of it has to do with signal interference on the 2.4 gigahertz spectrum, which is what these camera systems run on. You can see right here. Now that's your microwaves, your Wi-Fi, all those things run on 2.4 gigahertz. It's a commonly used frequency, which of course makes everything that runs on it more subject to interference. However, Haloview has said that this system has a much longer transmission distance. It'll transmit up to 984 feet, but that's with no interference at all. So like on one pole to another pole, that's kind of their maximum. But they did say that it's good for up to about 65 feet on a rig. So like behind a long fifth wheel, or in our case, behind a trailer in a truck camper. From our dashboard to the back of the trailer is somewhere between 40 and 42 feet. And today I was planning on doing a full install of this. However, I ran into some issues when I was doing a little testing. We are currently set up at a campground. We have the trailer parked. We have the camper off the truck. This is our old Voyager camera, and this is the Haloview MC7109 camera. My plan is to put a camera here and on the back of the cargo trailer. The problem that I ran into is there's not enough space right here to mount it. The camera, it goes flush against the wall, is a little too tall for the back of my trailer. Probably what I need to do is get the camera up above it on this rail. And in order to do that, I'm gonna have to figure out wiring and get a bracket. So I'm gonna have to hold off on that for a little while. But for today, I'm gonna remove that camera and mount it along next to the new camera, and we're gonna go for a drive. That's it for the introduction. Let's get started. All right, so we have the Haloview BT7, and let's open it up. We have our manuals, one for the monitor and one for the camera. We have the actual monitor here. That is a nice looking monitor. Got the buttons on the side, which is different from the MC7109. Similar mounting system, 2 antennas for the display and probably 1 for the camera. Got the camera, it articulates, you got your plugs in the back. This is the shroud that goes around it, and this stops the glare while you're driving. It does have a protective screen on it. I'm going to leave that on until I'm done with the install. Just a cigarette lighter adapter. This is power for the camera. The green wire is a trigger wire. If you're using it for, say, backup lights or directionals, it'll trigger the camera, so it's not on all the time. It comes on whenever it's needed. This is additional mounting brackets for the camera. This is a rubber gasket, and this goes in here, and this mounts to the wall. Again, we're gonna just be doing a test setup for today. This is the dash mount. I made a previous video about this. Worked great for like 6 or 8 months. I believe maybe I was in Death Valley. Anyways, the glue let go. It's good 3M adhesive, but it just started to let go and it kind of fell off. So I had to make my own bracket. And this is an alternative mount for the display. Screws for the camera mount, screws for the monitor mount, and installation screws for the cameras. This is the old Haloview monitor. It's really not that old, but I just mean it's the previous version that we have. This is what I was talking about. I made my own mount. It's just an angle bracket, and I made a video about this, and I'll leave a link to it up here. So I have just these pieces of scrap wood floating around. I'll screw them to here, and then I can just put a ratchet strap across this on the bed of the truck. Cameras will mount probably on the opposite side, you know, like this. Then I can go for a drive, and we'll see what the difference in lag is. That's what I'm really curious about. right, so I ran into a little problem yesterday. The tripod fell over while I was setting up the cameras and it broke my little audio connector. So the recordings that I did for the rest of the day had no audio. So today I'm gonna go back out and redo some of that so that I can explain to you what I observed yesterday. Got everything aligned, looks good, works for me. We're gonna hit the road again and check out the difference in lag between the two cameras. While the truck warms up, I just want to discuss a few things that I observed yesterday. I have the brightness on both monitors turned down, and that was because last night it was dark out. So I'm going to turn this all the way up, and I'm going to turn this one all the way up. This one is much brighter, especially at night. I do have some footage that shows that this one was washing out the camera where this one was still visible. Now both of these offer auto dimming, and I haven't quite figured that one out yet. I also haven't gone through the footage yet, but I did notice that this still lags significantly more than the BT7. What I'm hoping to catch today, I have another camera. I'm gonna try to record both of these and synchronize them so that I can capture the delay, and it's actually pretty significant at times. I would say 90% of the time the old MC7109 system works perfectly well, but every once in a while, it'll get like a 1 to 2 second delay. And when that happens while I'm backing up or something like that, I have to go extra slow to make sure that I don't hit anything. Because 2 seconds when you're backing up is a lot of time. Okay guys, so I wanted a little bit better setup. I just made this piece of wood here, I bungee corded it on. Now the camera's gonna be side by side, and I have my camera mounted here. Hopefully it doesn't fall off while I drive. But that's gonna record that, so we can get a side-by-side comparison of exactly how they perform. Now we can hit the road. So I should be able to talk to you over here and be able to see the backup cameras over here. So we'll go for a little drive and see how they perform. So my guess is that the older MC7109 series is more susceptible to radio interference on the 2.4 gigahertz spectrum. Now the new BT7 system still works on 2.4 gigahertz, but it doesn't seem to lag as much. So I'm just seeing out of the corner of my eye, when we have a sign go by, it shows up on this side about a half a second to a second earlier than this side. So look at the street lines and any painted markings and the signs on the sides as we pass them. You'll see yep, it goes like doon, 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 doon. So this one has much more lag. And I don't think that has anything to do with distance, because right now, I mean, these are only 15 feet behind me, and we have pretty good line of sight. I do have an aluminum bed with a headache rack, so maybe that causes some interference. But obviously the BT7 is definitely handling it better. So I'm going around a traffic circle right now, and you can see the delay in the painted markings. Now that I'm looking at it, I think the older camera might have a slightly wider field of view. It's a little bit more fisheye, and I can see a little bit more on the edges than this camera. So one of the other issues that I ran into with the older MC7109 series is that when I put an SD card in and turned on the recording feature, the unit would crash. So it would work for somewhere between 10 minutes and 5 hours, but eventually it would crash and it would go into, it just would stop recording. Also, sometimes the whole unit would lock up and reboot. So I had to just disable the recording on that. I've had the recording working on the new BT7 for maybe a total of an hour or so, and hasn't crashed yet. And I haven't looked at the footage yet, but once I get back from this drive, I'll start making the video and I'll be able to see how it looks. So I'm going to be passing a truck. It's going to be on my right side, passenger side, right now. Yeah, there's a pretty significant difference. And again, this is all running normally right now. But I would definitely say the BT7 is much more real time. So I just saw at least a second delay there for those lines on the side coming in. Both are running very smooth right now. I'm in the middle of the desert, so there's no interference anywhere. And I don't have the problem of having this mounted behind a trailer or a camper. So this is pretty close to perfect conditions. It's literally just on the back bumper. All right, we got a bridge joint right here. Then I'm gonna be going back to the pavement, and you can see the difference. I'll have to time it, but that's a good maybe half to 1 second. There's a hard line between asphalt and concrete right here. Manhole, manhole. Definitely a delay. And again, I'm not experiencing any serious lag with this one yet, but this one definitely doesn't lag, it seems like, at all. All right, so we're looking here. This is all black. That actually still has some contrast. You can see even the texture of the road. So the low light capabilities of the new camera are significantly better. So again, here you can see the side of the truck is just black, whereas this you can see the door handles, much more detail. MC7109 definitely has a wider field of vision. You can see the building here, but you can't there. So it looks like it's just a couple degrees wider on the MC7109. So the big difference I see is that the MC7109 has a wider field of vision. The Haloview BT7 has a much more real-time display. It doesn't lag as much, and the colors are more accurate. Also, you can just, there's more detail in it. It's definitely a better camera. This is a little bit muddy in comparison to this. This is a little bit lighter and brighter. Also, the monitor is smaller. You can see physically it's smaller over here. And this stands up fine, whereas this antenna is too tall. It hits my, my windshield. So these smaller antennas and the smaller form factor of the camera with the buttons on the side instead of the bottom definitely make a smaller package. I am going to be swapping over from the MC7109 to the BT7 system in a future video. I do need to get some additional parts to make it work on my trailer, so make sure you're subscribed. Click that little bell icon so that you get notified whenever we post a new video. Since I am going to be probably doing a couple more videos about these systems, please leave me some comments and let me know what you'd like me to answer, because it's your comments that really dictate what videos I make next. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.